Okay, I think everyone has joined. So again, thank you everyone for coming today. It's our first webinar, and we're very happy to talk to you about how to create how to create Christmas visuals for your next campaign. I'm Tamara. I'm founder associate at Pimento, and you'll hear from Florent, who I'm sure you already know. He's the CEO of Pimento, and I will leave the word to him.
Yeah, thank you, Tamara, and thank you so much to all of you for joining this webinar. It's so nice to see lots of names that we've talked to and that we know use quite a lot the product, and also new names that we'll discover maybe it for the first time. As it's December 3rd, we want to focus on Christmas kind of interesting use cases you could have with the platform, easy ones, and especially focusing on training on a style and training on an object, mostly for marketing use cases, but the aim is also to give you idea about what to do with models. If you have any questions, please ask them directly in the chat. I will not maybe always be looking at it, but Tamara will be moderator and will synthesize all the questions. And so what we cover today, as I told you, is a style training and object trainings with 4 main use cases. The first one with wonderful Christmas tree is how to create icons for Christmas in a 3D style. The second one concerning this illustration style concerns a brand called La Vie in France. And we will cover how to generate illustrations or branded assets in their style. The third one, maybe the funniest, is how to create Christmas trees or Christmas presents or Christmas gifts based on iconic products, I would say. And the fourth use case will concern food and how to present some new food on the Christmas table. If we have time, we may also cover a brand new feature we have about missing characters and model. I won't tease you too much, but depending on your question, we can show you what we can do from today in the product, and can be very powerful. So unless you have questions, we will start with the use case 1, which is the use case we have with a brand called Enu in France. And as you can see, so there are B2C application for young people for going out, basically. So they have lots of activities, and they have a huge objective of retention with their users, and the brand is super important. The brand depends, as you can see, on many different icons representing all the kind of going out you could do with your friends, and they have lots of seasonal localization issues. So this is the base icon set that they created with their branding agency. So it took lots of hours actually to create it in 3D. As some of you may know, lots of back and forth on the colors, on the shapes. And it was pretty expensive, actually. So before using Pimento, Henu actually had the only choice of using those 12 icons. And actually, with model training in Pimento, that can be much more, and they can expand the brand. So let's go to Pimento. If you don't have any account, I cannot, and I incentivize you to go to app.pimento.co and to access this platform. So this is my platform. This is Pimento. For those who've never been on Pimento, basically you have 2 main objects in Pimento. First, the projects concerning your different campaigns, concerning your different clients. That's a space where you would host all your images. And the model library, where you can see all the models you created, when you can create new models, and where you can also have all the models that have been created by Pimento and soon by all the community, so that you can test and create and have even more ideas. So actually, let's start by creating a model, because what we want to do is to create a model based on the inflatable icons of Enu. So to do so, just click on New Model. Here we have 3 options: style, object, character. We will cover today style and object, and character will be another webinar. So let's focus here on style, because what we want to catch with Pimento and through the AI model is the style of the icons. You need to provide a few images. So I'm gonna just here upload the images that I just showed you before. You can start by uploading 4 images. 4 images is minimum for us. Our recommendation is more between 10 to 20, so around 12, 15 is a good bet. It depends a lot on how diverse your style is. Because basically what we're going to do afterwards is we're going to take an AI, a generic AI, which is good at doing lots of different images, and we will retrain it based on those illustrations. So think it as maybe as a child that knows a few words, that knows a few concepts, and that you take and retrain him and show him images, show him images, show him images, so that everything that he knows, he used to know actually, will be now in the style that you showed to him. So the more you show to him, the better it is, but it cannot sort of discover things that you haven't shown. So for example, here, if all the icons I put were green, all the outputs of the model afterwards would be green, because actually the green would be one major characteristic of the style. So that's why it's always important to put more than 4 pictures, and between 10 and 15 actually, to have a diversified panel of your style, to catch every aspect of your style, every color, every angle, every characteristic of the style. We will cover other styles and other good data set afterwards. So once your images are uploaded, you just click on next. You just give your name to your model. And we ask you to pick what best describes your style. So between photography, 2D illustration, 3D graphics, or icon. Here, I'd rather have 3D graphics because icons are mostly for 2D very simple illustrations. Rather, 3D graphics are more this style. You can always change it afterwards anyway. It's just a way for us to better characterize your model and to help you with the prompts that you're going to do afterwards. Training a model costs some credits. So for those who don't know, on Pimento, when you get credits, when you get a subscription, you get credits that are used to do 2 things. 1, training models. 2, downloading images. And I will show you after the download of high quality images that cost credits. What doesn't count credits is generating images, because we do think that your creative process shouldn't have any limit, and you should be able to create as many images as possible and to iterate as much as you want to get the perfect picture that you are looking for, to give birth basically to your idea. So here I just trained my model. Training a model takes a bit between 10 and 20 minutes, depending on how many pictures you've put. So that you know, all the data that you put in Pimento, so all the training data, will be kept only for you, won't be shared with anyone, and won't be used to retrain any model. Everything is very siloed into Pimento, so your models are yours, won't belong to anyone unless if you want to share them, and all the content that you put as input will also stay yours. All the content that you will generate also belong to you. You have full commercial rights on all the images that you will generate. The only thing is, we won't cover any liability if you are sued for having reproducing an existing style. So for example, let's say I train my model on a Starbucks ad, and then I create images that really do look like Starbucks, and I use it on my Instagram account. I do not own the IP right of Starbucks. So Starbucks could sue me somehow for using their style, for plagiarism, as you would actually do with any other ways to create new logos or to create illustrations based on inspirations. So you have full commercial use, but we don't cover for liabilities if needed. Wait, as I don't want us to wait for 15 minutes, I already trained the model, of course. So here it is. So once the model is trained, you can see it here. So here are the first icons that I used, and you can use it in a new project. You can also, coming from the home, create a new project. And here, add a style, where you would choose the Henu one. Okay. So now I am in project. So it's like a canvas where I'm going to create all my images based on this style. I can choose whatever ratio I want. Here was my picture. Let's keep it square, for example, for now. And let's prompt actually a Christmas tree with white background, just to see, sorry, white, just to see how it goes. The first generation is a bit slower and longer than the coming ones because every model is private. So we store them, and each time you want to call or you want to wake up somehow a new model, we need that technically to wake him up, to open a server and to put in into work actually. So that the first generation may be longer, it can take up like 15 seconds, but the following ones are much faster. So here, as you can see, I put a very simple prompt. If you've ever used any other Midjourney, DALL-E, or image generation, if you put this prompt, all the results would be quite random, actually, because they don't know anything about your style. Here, it's kind of, so some are random, but because we just put a very simple prompt. But definitely here, what you can see is that it's definitely taking all the inflatable aspects of the logo of the style, sorry, of any. If you think that your style is not catching enough what is important for you, there is a way to improve it. So here, if I go to my style, I have something here. Sorry, the NU one. Sorry, the NU one. Where does it disappear? Oh no, it was here. Sorry. You have here. So you have something which is called attributes, which are additional words that you can add to your style, sorry, for the model to better understand what you want. So, for example, here I could add inflatable icons, balloons, inflatable balloons. I can say simple colors. And I can also remove some of the things I don't want to see. So let's say I want to exclude the white aspects, for example. Actually, white is going to be hard because we want a white background. So let's say I want to exclude red, for example. That way, all those words will always, be applied to your generations as prompt enhancement. So it's a way to refine and to fine-tune your models afterwards. So here, let's test a new Christmas tree with white background and see if it works. I'm not sure it will. The only way we have to know it well is to do back and forth. So we have a lot of inflatable balloons now, actually. So as I added to the, I hear it's very interesting because here I added inflatable balloons and only that. And what you can see that we have lots of balloons. Actually, this one is pretty good because we still have the Christmas tree and the balloons. So that way you can just test and go do back and forth. And what you'll see is how to improve the model regarding what you're trying to do. This one is also very creative, actually, because he created a Christmas tree made of balloons. I can show you here that you have a panel with information so that you can always find all the parameters you've used to create your image, especially if you want to recreate it or to start from it. So for example, especially from the prompt, you can just copy the prompt, go back and just paste it here if you want to just iterate faster. The thing is that Enu won't be satisfied with this kind of thing, this kind of visual. It's in the style, but it's too complex. And actually, Enu is addressing kind of a young audience that they are very used to very simple emojis. And what they want to do with their brand is to reproduce somehow very famous and iconic emojis that young people use, or even us actually, used on social network and communication network. So let me introduce you to another feature, which is called transfer. Transfer enables you to start from a picture. And actually what Enu wants, so here I just clicked on input image and I have here so I uploaded here like a very low resolution. Actually, I can show you it, sorry, here. So what I did is I uploaded this picture, which is kind of a low resolution image of a Christmas tree, but it's a simple one. And actually the artistic director, the CMO of Henu really likes that one. So if I go back on Pimento, I just put it here. What you've seen is that it's automatically described. You can change the description and you can then easily start generating with Henu style based on this image. The aim is to reproduce somehow the shapes and the colors, so to give more control on the image you're going to create. And as you can see here, it's much more in Henu style, this picture, rather than the other ones, because all their inspiration has been based on emojis, has been based on very simple graphic. So here they used an image they found online. You could also use a sketch that you do by yourself, wherever you do, and get the final version. Once you like a picture, all the image generated are in 1K here when they are squared. You can always here upscale them. So we do have an upscaler which enables you to do 2x or 4x on the resolution of the picture. You can choose the imagination. Imagination would be how much your initial image would be altered somehow. So how much do you want us to correct from it? Here, we're quite happy with all the results. So let's take a low imagination, actually, because we just want all the details to be sharper, not to add many details. So let's just have a low imagination. We just upscale. Upscale can take a few seconds, again, because we are recreating an image based on your own image with much more details. And so here is the new image, which is 4 times bigger. And if you want to remove the watermark, you just need to click on download. That's where you use some credit to remove the watermark. And here you have the full image that you can use. And actually, Henu, they did the whole Christmas icon sets using the very simple method I just showed you, training a model on a few other icons, using our transfer feature with very simple illustrations, choosing the one they preferred, and just upscale them. This is the first use case. Do you have any question below, both apart from the one that you may have asked, in the chat? Or should I go to the next use case? If we are good with it. So now let's go to another use case we have, always regarding Christmas, concerning a brand which is called La Vie in French. And they are doing non-meat meat, so basically vegetable meat. Let me just show you the brand they have. Sorry, I'm just sharing my screen.
Hey, sorry, Florent, can you just go back? There's a question from Spirit, if you can show the tweak of the model again.
Yeah, sure. Sorry, oops, here. So you just click on the model, and you have here attributes, and you can tweak it here. It will be quite more easier to see next week, but here it's where you tweak. The aim also, I will show you afterwards with objects, but it's also the thing with people. You would put here characteristics. So is it good like that, Spirit? So here, you click on the model, you arrive on the model picker, and you click on the attributes, and you can fill whatever you want. I guess. Okay. So,
okay. We can answer at the end also the questions that we didn't answer.
So this is, I'm not seeing, sorry, I'm showing again. So here, you go here, attributes, and then you can write whatever you want. Red, green. So you do write the positive attributes and the negative one. Okay, so let's go to the other use case, which is La Vie, which is a food brand, actually, that we're going to talk twice today. And as you see, they rely a lot on illustrations and on very specific illustrations that are very recognizable, actually. And if you are French, or if you come to French and you see their ads, they're quite recognizable thanks to the colors, but thanks also to the way they created the different illustrations. So the same way we created a style for Henu, we would come, in Pimento, and we would create a new model based on illustrations from La Vie. So again, once you just click here on new model. You can also have here a quick action, which is build your own model. You just need then to select style, because we want to focus on the style. You just drop some images. So here I'm gonna drop a few images I found online, actually, on La Vie. So these are the illustrations I've put. I saw the question, and yes, these images to be squared, because AI is thinking squared. So if you have very landscape or portrait images, you may need to recrop them before to really focus on the main part of your image. Then we call it La Vie. La Vie. Here you would choose 2D illustration, because it's definitely a 2D illustration. We would train it, and we would wait again a few minutes. As I, of course, did it before, I trained this model, so exactly the same picture as I showed you before. And let's create a new project based on this model. So here I just clicked on new project, and as you can see, La Vie is already selected here. So I'm working in a new project that I can actually call La Vie illustrations for Christmas. Again, for spirit, if I click here, I have my attributes, and I could here add some details about the fact that I want them to be like vectors, or that I want to have like a lot of pink, or that I want to avoid some details. And actually, let's prompt, and let's try to prompt illustration of Santa Claus having a Christmas dinner. So again, my first generation will be a bit longer, as we are storing a private model and a safe one for La Vie. And here I have a few illustrations of the Santa Claus. Some are quite close. So illustrations are quite hard with AI. Some are quite close. Some are less close than what we may expect. So let me show you here that you have an option, which is a model intensity. So the model intensity corresponds to how much you want your initial images to be taken into account. So for example, let me put a very high model intensity and generate with the same prompt. Actually, I'm doing the same thing with a lower intensity, so we can compare and see what the difference is. So as you can see here, with a high intensity, the image is worse, because we're taking too much into account the initial images. Plus, it does look really like one of the initial pictures. So if I show you again here, those two ones, I can show you, in high quality here. So it's taking a lot the influence of the initial pictures. On the other side, when I did a lower intensity, we lost a bit the style of the of the model. We are further, if you look at the hands, for example, if you look at the type of face, they are further from these pictures than further from the style, sorry, than these pictures. So let's put back 50%. Let's try again a Santa Claus having a Christmas dinner. And actually, let me show you another feature we have, which enables you to have better images by adding details. So here I click, so I have my prompt, which is illustration of Santa Claus having a Christmas dinner. Here I'm clicking on Enhance Prompt. I just click on Enhance with Details. It will improve a lot here my description of image, making much more details, which can have two effects. One is being very creative, very on style, and giving me very good ideas. The other one, as it's AI and it doesn't know exactly what we want to do, it may create some weird stuff that I don't want to get. Actually, that's pretty good concerning my illustrations. And let's take that picture, for example, and show you how we can correct it. So it's not good because it put here a turkey, actually. So as Lavi is doing some ham and some pork meat, some fake pork meat, let's actually try to replace this turkey by a big sandwich. So I can here, so I click on the image, I clicked on fill. I'm still having Lavi model. I want some high creativity because I want everything. So here I have a creativity parameter, which can be low, medium, or high. As you can see here, the opacity of the mask is changing. If I'm using a low creativity, that means that the picture won't change that much. So I can add a few details on the turkey. I could change the color, I could change its shape, but it'll still look like a turkey on a salad. If I go to medium, I can make a bit of more change. And if I go to high, basically I will reproduce everything. So I take high here and I want to replace by a ham sandwich. This can be a very tricky one because it's a very small part of the image, its illustration. So we're taking some risk here and we're pushing AI to its limits, maybe. So here you can see on the history all the images that are generated, and actually it worked. So here, as you can see, we used to have a turkey, and now we have kind of a ham sandwich with ham and salad directly on the table. You have each time 4 variants. So here it's more like a burger, but it's still on style. Here it's still generating this is not really ham. This is burger. This is full ham, actually, and this is a sandwich. So out of 4, we have this one, which we really do like. Another way to change this picture is changing the prompt directly. So here we have an enhanced prompt, which is pretty long, actually. We could go through it and find where the turkey is. We can also click on enhance prompt and click on edit with AI. And I can ask Pimento to replace the turkey by a ham sandwich. When I click on update prompt, the whole prompt will be analyzed and the turkey should be replaced by a ham sandwich. So I won't pay too much attention to this prompt. Let's just regenerate the picture. So now we have a different image, but we have lots of ham on the table. You can see also that there are lots of flowers here. So let's try to go here, on attributes and to exclude flowers, because flowers were actually a lot into the initial images and they're part of the branding, but maybe they're a bit too much here. So let's try to exclude them. Okay, the table is neater now, so I managed to remove a bit the flowers. And I see a question in the chat. So here, when you're in the edit, you have two modes, brush and lasso. So here I'm using the brush to select, and I can also have a brush size here to be like more precise. But there is also a lasso one, which enables you, just to select a zone, which may be quicker depending on what you're trying to select as a mask.
And maybe Florent, you can show how to use the image reference as well, because Spirit asked about it. If you go to prompt enhancer and you upload the reference.
I think Spirit was more about in the editor to use reference image. So there are two ways. So I'm going to show you something here. Actually, let's go on Google and let's look for Santa Claus. So I'm just like going on Google, just showing it you. And here taking this Santa Claus looks nice, actually. Let's save it. Here, go back on Pimento, and let me show you a new option that I haven't shown you yet, which is prompt from image. So now we're going to use the image I just downloaded as a reference. Oops. So basically what it will do is we're going to take this image, we're going to describe it to generate a prompt. So now we have the full description, and now we're using the model Lavi to regenerate the picture. The aim is to don't give some guidance somehow to the model. Okay, so it's not an illustration at all. I should have here. So let's see. Actually, let's edit prompt and make it an illustration, because I put a photo and it described it as a photo. So I just edited with AI and asked it to be an illustration. Actually, what I should do to avoid this also maybe is to come here, to go to attributes, so go this one, sorry, and to say always illustration, because I really want it to be an illustration. And so here I got more illustrations. So here the style is a bit lost. So what I would do is increase a bit my model intensity, because when describing the image, it added a few details that are not very linked to my initial style. So I can always, again, look at my prompt and see if I see some very weird things that shouldn't be in my prompt. So here I could iterate again to get closer to my style and to get this this Santa Claus. So here what you see is what, so we have this one, and we had actually this one at first. So it's quite close. It's quite far actually, but we could also use it as a transfer, as I showed you for Henu before with the Christmas tree. So we could also do the same thing with as we did with the Christmas tree with this with this Santa Claus, sorry, to do a style transfer. Are there other questions, sorry, before we switch to object training, because I wanted to show you like 3D and illustrations. I see someone is writing. Okay, the style transfer actually will take into account the shapes of the image. So it will basically, I can show you, I'm not sure it will work here, but let me actually try to show you. This transfer really takes into account the shapes of the image. So it tries to reproduce all the shapes, the main lines, the main lines of the image. The one I showed you here with prompt from an image is more about having a broader inspiration. So it's more about describing the image and trying to put it into the style. So that's why here we have kind of the same composition. So the results are not good because I should have here, I should play a bit with the parameters to make it work good and also to work on the style. But you see that it's always the same composition, basically, always the same colors. You always have something very similar. Whereas there, it was like more creative, but closer to the style. And you have a question spirit. They've had the interview. Yes, definitely. You can go back and forth. So here I can remove, here I have my attributes. I can remove them, for example, if I just want to do photos. So for example, if you're in a phase where you thinking about, let's say, Valentine's Day, and you want everything to be red and pink, then you can put pink and red in your attributes, and it will always stay like this, and all your prompts will have pink and red attributes. And then you're thinking about summer, so you would use the same model and change change the attributes and say, okay, now I want it yellow with sun, so you can definitely fine tune your model along the way. Okay, so now let's do that wonderful Christmas tree based on iconic objects, and let me introduce you to what we call object training. So it's the same way we did train AI models on a style, we can also train AI models on specific objects. So let's go back on Pimento. Let's build here a new model. And actually, let's take IKEA bag. And here, let's drop a few pictures of IKEA bag. So here I put 7 pictures. Honestly, 4 pictures would be enough, especially as the bag is always the same. It has always the same size. There's always the same color. So basically, it's quite simple to have that kind of picture. Here, compared to the style, there is an additional step where I need to describe the object. It's quite important because, as I told you, we're teaching the AI new stuff, and we need to tell it, basically, a few details on what we want it to focus on. So here I would just say that IKEA, for example, IKEA blue plastic bag. So that it knows that what I'm interested in is the color, is the material, is the fact that it's a bag. And not, for example, that here it's quite hard, but the other details, I'm okay with losing other details or with not focusing on other details of the bag. I just create my model. I just name it, of course. I use my credits, and I wait again for 10 to 20 minutes. Of course, I did it before, and here I have my model. So the same picture, I use the same pictures as I just showed you before. I can use it in a new project. And here, actually, let's make a test. Let's just try for IKEA blue plastic bag. Just to do a test and to see what the model understood of the training. So here the model is supposed to be good on reproducing IKEA-ish bags. So here I have IKEA bags. It's not always the same dimensions because AI is not good at reproducing the exact dimensions that we have in the initial bag, but it can still be good for kind of some photo shoots or some product shoots or even some mood boarding or some creations we want to do with them. Let's now try to be a bit more creative and say that we want a Christmas tree made of blue IKEA bags. As the model knows what IKEA bags are, he should be able to produce a Christmas tree based on them. Okay, hierarchy. It doesn't work all the time, but here we have a very interesting Christmas tree made of IKEA bags because the model understood the structure. Let's now use here actually enhance with detail to have a better prompt. Oops. And to see if we can get an even better IKEA Christmas tree. So here we got much better IKEA Christmas trees. We can see that all the yellow things are taken into account. We see the same colors, the same material. Here, this one is also very creative because it's creating new shapes and piles of different IKEA bags. Here, the scene is in a very minimalistic place. Let's say we want it to be. So let's edit prompt with AI and say the scene should take place in a shop, for example. Let's say it's an IKEA shop. So we can use the prompt editor here to update the prompt and maybe have another scenography, I would say, on this image. Okay, so now we're more in a shop, so maybe more relevant to what IKEA could do for real. And you can see with edit prompt, we can definitely iterate on the image and get whatever you want based on an iconic product. And actually, let me show you other examples that we did, so you can have also different IDs. So we did create here Christmas trees from Tiffany's very famous Christmas presents. Sorry, my network maybe a bit long. Yes. So here we had lots of different Christmas trees made of card boxes. We had them the same way that I just showed you. Let me show you here some examples made of Ray-Bans. So you can train a model on Ray-Bans or on Doc Martens. So if you train a model on your Doc Martens. Let me show you also this example, which is a bit lame, but on Pringles. So if you train on Pringles, you can do whatever you want with those different Pringles. And maybe last but not least, here, quite a harder one. But if you train on a few Dyson vacuum, you can get lots of very creative ideas, not of vacuum, but of Christmas trees made of Dysons. The Christmas tree is quite a funny example, but think about all the different stuff where you could use this model to create real life examples, actually. And talking about real life example, let's switch to our last use case, which is the food one.
Just before we switch, can you show to Ver the model of the IKEA bag?
Sure.
Like the training set. Yes.
Yeah. Oops, let me go back here. So here is the training set. Sorry. Here is the training set, the data set. And what I can try a person holding an IKEA bag if you want. Oops. Product like Fidelity is still in beta at Pimento, so the level of fidelity can be questionable somehow when you train with products. Sorry, too many people on the platform. Well, let me refresh. Don't know what happened. Okay, so here they are generating actually. Sorry for the delay. Okay, so here the IKEA bag actually is not it's a white one. So here I should go back to my model and say in the attribute it's a blue bag. I'm sorry, this one, blue bag, and ask again here. So here I just go there. I just copy the prompt, and I ask them person holding a blue IKEA bag. You don't see there, meaning in spirit, maybe you should refresh because it's something that this interface has been shipped a few hours ago. So if you refresh your brother, sorry, your brother, it may appear. That's why. So we did a few new features this afternoon. So now it should be okay. So let's switch to as I told you, the last real life example based on food. So here, what we did is we kept La Vie example, and we went on the website to find pictures and photographies of their ham and bacon products. So we are here training on an object because food is an object. And let's actually here go back, sorry, looking for here images of the kind of food they do. Again, we can try La Vie food on the model. I'm sorry, I did put La Vie food, but it was not this, sorry. I meant, so here, as I'm describing an object, I need to, again, be a bit precise on what we want the model to focus on. So ham and bacon, let's say, and bacon sandwiches. Oops, give it a name, La Vie food. And again, wait for a few minutes for the models to be ready. And actually, here I already got it. One. Sorry, so here, La Vie food. Same model has been already trained. And let's use it in a new project. And let's ask for a ham sandwich on a Christmas table. Why it's important, Sasha, is because an object, I mean, like kind of everything is an object. And in the data, in the initial data set of the AI, there are billions of objects. And when we're showing to the AI new pictures, we need to tell it, okay, this picture is related to all the images you know about ham sandwiches, for example. Don't pay too much attention to the computers you know, to the TV you know, to the factories you know, to all the clothes. Don't try to make them look like some ham. Just focus on all the sandwiches that you know and try to make them closer. Same thing as we do actually with the style. So the style is not shown to you, but when you click on illustration, when you're trying a style, we're actually saying the AI, okay, don't pay too much attention to all the photos that you know. Really take care of all the illustrations that you know. Same when training a character, we say, okay, this is a person. Try to make all the man or the woman that you know look like this person. And so here, what you see is that it takes back a lot the type of bacon that we saw in the tacos, the type of ham we saw on the hamburgers. I can show it back to you actually here. So again, all those bacon. Yes, exactly, Sasha. All the bacon, all the type of ham that were here. So we focused on it. And now we have a perfect sandwich, I would say, on a Christmas table. Again, I could use my enhance with details to get much more ideas, creative ones, and just generate new pictures. And maybe do something I haven't done yet, is select another ratio, because maybe a landscape picture would be more better for that kind of thing. So here, as I did enhance with details, I have much more details on my tables. For example, it looks much more Christmas because the model by itself has taken about lights, has taken about Christmas decoration table, about lights, about having a cocktail on the table because it's a Christmas dinner. So that way I could improve my model and definitely make think that this La Vie burger has been shooted on a Christmas table. Angela, yes, actually, Angela, this model is based on photography because La Vie also has photography. They have illustrations on their website. I can show you again. Sorry if it wasn't clear at the beginning. They have illustration. The main brand is illustrated, but then they have photographies of the different here. For example, they also have photographies on the real thing that they're selling. Food works really good on an object, and I think like there are lots of use cases about showing food on Christmas table or doing photo shoots for Christmas or for whatever occasion. And yes, regarding Angela comment, the aim of Pimento is to take all your brand platform. So you could have a model for all your food pack shots. You can have a model for your illustration. You could have a model for your icons, for example, because maybe on the product or wherever, La Vie could also have very specific icons. So you have all your models representing your brand, as you would have also with person and characters, that you would mix to have all your visuals done in your style, in brand, in Pimento. Do you have any question on this last use case during the 3 minutes we have left? If you don't have any question, I can just tease you on something that we pushed today and what we are quite happy about is now here we have a little plus, which enables you to mix model, meaning that, for example, let's take this specific model. So this model has been trained on, sorry, I cannot zoom in, but it's like Play-Doh or little sculpture, okay? And let's take now one model and let's add a character. And let's take a model, actually I trained, sorry for this, but on myself. And let's ask for a man cooking, for example. Let's just do a test. So this model is trained on a very Play-Doh-ish style. The other model here, I'm sorry, is trained on myself. And let's see if the magic happens. So again, it's a bit longer. And so here you see kind of myself, sorry. I'm a bit transformed that I would need to trick a bit with the model, but in the style of the Play-Doh I put at first. Actually here I should, I think, enhance a bit the model intensity, lower a bit my model, or play with the perfect equilibrium to get a picture of myself cooking in a Play-Doh-ish environment. I can show you another style also. So for example, if I take this style, so based on very sunny pictures, and I just generate a picture with this style, you see that with the same prompt, I will get very different results. So here, I tweaked, you can see, I tweaked quite a lot the model. I look a bit weird because it's me in Play-Doh with air, but definitely we're catching the style, the initial style and the Play-Doh-ish style, and there we're catching the person we want to represent in it. And here, so the same prompt, but it's me now, but cooking in a very warm atmosphere because I chose, the warm style. So this will be actually, because it's time now, showcase in another webinar, sorry. So thank you so much, all of you, for listening for coming, interacting, and if you have any other questions, how many images do you upload to train a model? So you need to start with 4 images, Angela, but it's better between 10 and 20. So I would recommend 12 to 15. If among you, there are people who are not yet subscribed to Pimento, you can use this code, so Christmas24, to get 1 month free and to test models and to test generations and to test all the features that I just showed you. And wishing you a very good Christmas season. Be very very creative on your all the Christmas images and visuals that you would create, and don't hesitate to publish them also on Twitter, on LinkedIn, or whatever, and give us feedback, because it's super important for us to get your feedback to improve the product. So thank you so much. Have a great day or evening wherever you are.
Thank you very much for joining us.
And see you very soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.